What if the most disruptive force in British politics right now isn't Labour's hollocentrism or the Tories' nervous collapse, but Nigel Farage's insurgent campaign to shatter the system from the outside in? If the latest Ipsos polling is any indication, the question is no longer asterisk if asterisk Reform UK can become a major player. It's asterisk how far asterisk it can go before the establishment figures out what hit them. With a seismic 34% of the vote share, Reform is no longer a fringe protest vehicle. It's a political warhead aimed squarely at Westminster's stagnant status quo. Labour languishes at 25%, unable to consolidate a convincing lead even after years of Conservative chaos. And the Tories? A calamitous 15%, a historical low that speaks volumes not just about their failings, but about a once loyal base now utterly disillusioned. Farage isn't just rising, he's towering over the political wreckage of the two main parties. The only question that matters now is whether he can hold this momentum through the next 12 months. If he can, all bets are off. This is more than a protest surge. It's a full-spectrum revolt. Ipsos finds that over a third of 2024 Tory voters have already defected to Reform. These are not ideological nomads. They're the engine room of the old Conservative base, tired of betrayal, spineless leadership, and limp policymaking. But what's more electrifying is that Reform is attracting support from previous non-voters, those disconnected from politics entirely, who see in Farage not just another politician, but the wrecking ball the system sorely needs. This group is notoriously hard to mobilize, but once converted, they become loyal, volatile, and unshakably committed. Reform must now solidify this block into definites, a strategic task with existential importance. The Conservative Party, meanwhile, is in an advanced state of nervous breakdown. The idea that a leadership switch, from Kemi Badenoch to someone like Robert Jenrick, could revive their fortunes is deluded at best. The Tories' problems are not cosmetic. They are structural, philosophical, and moral. A fresh coat of paint won't stop a building that's already collapsing. If anything, the only plausible path to Conservative survival is a negotiated alignment or surrender to Reform, a humiliating prospect, but one that becomes more likely if Farage can hold or expand his lead over the next year. Defections from disaffected Tory MPs are not only probable, they are inevitable. This is why Farage's policy positioning is becoming increasingly strategic and, let's be honest, brilliant. Take his latest proposal, a reintroduction of non-dom status for high-net-worth individuals, priced at a one-off £250,000 fee, with revenues earmarked for the poorest Britons. This is not policy for policy's sake. It's surgical politics, designed to appeal across the spectrum. The right sees a welcoming climate for wealth and investment. The left sees the rich paying their fair share to support the most vulnerable. It's the kind of policy triangulation that Labour should have mastered years ago, and that the Tories have entirely forgotten how to do. Reform doesn't need a manifesto dripping with utopian promises. It needs coherent, headline-dominating, ideologically broad policies that hammer home one truth: we are not the same as them. The non-dom policy isn't perfect. Critics will rightly ask if the numbers fully add up. But in this political moment, credibility isn't measured solely in spreadsheets. It's measured in momentum, narrative, and emotional connection. Farage is tapping into something visceral, a feeling that Britain has been lied to, sold out, and left behind, and that it's time to take it back. Labour is not immune. Starmer's balancing act is becoming a tightrope over a pit of ideological knives. Lean right, and he hemorrhages voters to the Greens, SNP, and disillusioned socialists. Lean left, and Reform picks off the patriotic working-class voters who once trusted Blair and Brown. Either way, Labour is trapped in the same strategic purgatory that crushed the Tories. That's not a flaw in Reform's strategy, it's a feature. The more the mainstream parties struggle to recalibrate, the more Farage's message becomes the default alternative. For Farage, now is not the time to coast. Now is the time to solidify, organize, and strike. He has 12 months, maybe less, to turn polling strength into structural permanence. That means candidate vetting, local ground games, media saturation, and policy precision. The Rupert Lowe and Zia Yusuf controversies didn't leave a dent. Why? Because people have stopped listening to warnings from a media class that cried wolf for a decade. Farage isn't Teflon, but he's no longer vulnerable to standard-issue political sabotage either. The public is too angry, and Reform is too nimble, for that. If Reform keeps its nerve and keeps its lead, it doesn't just break the system, it replaces it. At that point, Reform isn't just winning seats. It's setting the agenda, determining the terms of political discourse, and finally giving the electorate something they haven't had in years, a reason to believe that real change is possible. That moment is within reach. The question is whether Farage and his party have the discipline, resilience, and imagination to seize it. If they do, reform won't just shake up British politics. They'll own it.